Hi everybody, this is Tanya with You on Love. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am on my way to work and you came across my mind because this week I have been practicing financial abundance. What does that mean and what does that look like? So I have been, some backstory here. I have been avoiding looking at my finances for some time, outside of just paying my bills. Most of my bills are on auto pay. And then those that are not, as soon as I get my paycheck, I go right to the bill I need to pay. And that is all. What I fail to do, I don't look at my bank statement often. I don't look at overdue things that I have, such as tickets that need to be paid or my credit card debt. I just kind of pay what I need to pay, call it a day, and that's it. So I don't take a strong look at my finances. As a matter of fact, I try to ignore it as much as possible, be responsible with my bills as, bare minimum, right? Pay what I need to pay and keep it moving. This behavior allows me to sometimes be a little frivolous, right? So it allows me to buy things I may not need to buy. Granted, I'm not buying, Gucci bags or name brand shoes, and I buy small things that add up. I buy maybe a meal or two. I buy clothes at the thrift shop, so I feel like and all the clothes are really inexpensive price. I've discovered Plato's Closet, which is fantastic. That's a different conversation. But so I feel like I'm being responsible when I'm buying clothes because I'm not going to the highest end stores and I'm not spending hundreds of dollars on a few items. I'm being responsible with what I need. But what I'm failing to do is being intimate with my finances. And then this is a larger issue. And what I fail to do or have failed to do is look head on, eye to eye, so to speak, with the things that scare me. Look head on with the things that I've been avoiding because of fear, right? And so what's behind me not looking at my finances? Fear of not having enough money, fear of running out of money, fear of not being able to buy what I want to buy. And that just perpetuates a bunch of negativity and a bunch of fear, right? And so what I'm sure you've surmised from my other self-love practice videos is that what you put out is kind of what circulates. So if I'm putting out fear around my finances, I am now setting the stage for not having enough finances, not having enough to buy the things I want, not having enough to pay my bills. And that is a problem. That means I'm always going to be in that cycle of not having enough. It's called a lack mindset, right? And I said, enough's enough, Tanya, right? I talk to myself in a way that as if I'm coaching myself. So that's enough, because what happens when I'm in that fear cycle? Then I start the negative self-talk of I can be so irresponsible, of I can't believe I shouldn't have spent money on that. And I get into this negative beat up of things that I should have, would have, could have done differently with my money, and I didn't. And now I'm in that negative cycle. And that, again, is the opposite of self-love. If ever you find yourself in a negative beat up on yourself, you are not practicing self-love. So I've recognized that recently around my finances. I practice self-love. I'm really good with my health and nutrition, and that's fantastic. I'm really good with feeling positive and being optimistic. That's not all, right? That doesn't include all of it. It also includes stopping myself from beating myself up when it comes to anything, really, but in this instance it's been my finances. So what I did was last week I wrote down, and this isn't the first time I've done it, but this is the first time that actually, that's a lie. This isn't the first time I've done all this, and this isn't the first time I've felt really serious about it. But I am explaining to you how I am taking 2020 very seriously and making declarations around finances and clearing debt. So what I did was I wrote down every single dollar that I owed, whether it's New York City parking tickets, my credit card debt, loans, school loans, even though that won't be paid off in this year. Actually, who knows? I could win the lottery, right? It's a possibility. May not be probable, but it's possible. So I wrote down all of the debt that I have and making a plan on how to decrease or end or eliminate it. And so some steps I've taken is decrease my monthly mortgage. All right, I talked to a lender who gave me a lower interest rate, so now my mortgage is going to be less expensive. I'm cutting out costs, right? So if I was paying for a cleaner, I'm either going to eliminate the cleaner, which is really hard for me to do, or just find a cheaper cost, right? So I'm looking at ways that I can eliminate or cut out costs so that I'm more financially responsible. So therefore I am more positive around my finances, creating an attitude of abundance, creating an attitude and emotion of not only do I have enough, I have more than enough, and I am filled to the bucket with abundance, with financial security, with financial freedom. And having that attitude and mindset towards my bills and my money will then create that positive cycle of creating financial independence and abundance and always having more than enough, right? Instead of the opposite of beating myself up about it and then creating scenarios in which I actually don't have enough. Because I'm a firm believer, if you are saying out loud, I don't have enough, I can't pay my bills, that's what God and the universe hears, and that's what you're going to get more of. I have to stop myself in those tracks, because yes, that comes out of my mouth or my thoughts. Your thoughts become life. And I say, pause, let me look at my fear, look at my finances, look them in the eye and say, no, I have enough. I get to pay all of these things because I have financial abundance, because I have a steady income, because I am able to start to create a savings, because I'm able to all these things that allow me financial freedom, right? And I am excited about that. So I am actively changing my attitude towards my finances in order to create a positive self-love practice around my finances, right? Because now I'm creating positive language, can you see me a little better? Positive language, positive attitude, and therefore positive feelings, feeling good about myself, feelings of happiness. Wow, I feel really good that I get to pay all these bills and still have this money left over. I feel really good that I'm able to there's another thing I did. I took 10 minutes of my time, maybe, and just put $100 direct deposit into my savings account for each paycheck, so I don't have to think about it anymore. I don't have to be conscious about, okay, this is what's left over at the end of the month. Maybe I'll put in my savings if I remember. That's what I had been doing, and that's really poor practice. Again, that's lack mindset. That's to say, I may not have enough to put away for savings, so therefore I'm just going to keep it in my checking. If I need to spend it, I'll spend it, because who knows what's going to happen. That's not believing in God or the universe or the power that be and what your belief system is. And so I said, no, I'm actually going to actively put away minimum of $200 a month, so it's $100 per paycheck, direct deposit into my savings and make my paycheck work for me. And I know that level of flexibility of knowing that, believing and knowing, and I could trust myself with what's left over, that all my bills will be paid for and money will be left over. So this is the new attitude I have, that I am taking action towards it. It's not here, it's now transferred to my heart, it's now transferred into my actions, that I am in belief of my finances, that I am in abundance. Finances are coming to me. I trust that I always have more than enough, and that's going to perpetuate that positive cycle that more than enough is always my way. So I share this to share with you look at your fear head on, particularly if they're finances, because so many of us just hide under the blankets and just hope the auto pay takes care of our life. But I encourage you to look at your finances head on, saying, this is what my plan is. I am going to create a self-love practice around my finances, because by doing that, I then am able to create positive messages to myself, being proud of myself. I'm happy about myself. I am swimming in abundance, financial abundance, because I was responsible and I take ownership for that. And that is the self-love practice. Okay. I hope this message resonates with you. Thank you so much for listening. Like and subscribe and share with friends, especially if this is something that was important to you. Have a beautiful and blessed day. Bye, everybody.